Have you ever looked at your bank account and thought, I make decent money, so why does it still feel like I'm barely moving forward? Not broke, not irresponsible, just stuck. If you live in the United States or Europe, there's a good chance you've quietly asked yourself that question. Let's walk through a normal scenario. You're 29, you have a stable job, maybe you make $75,000 a year in the US, or 55,000 euro in parts of Europe. On paper, that sounds solid. After taxes, healthcare, and retirement contributions, your take-home might be around $4,500 per month. Now the normal life begins. Rent in a mid-sized American city, $1,800. Utilities and internet, $250. Car payment, $450. Car insurance and fuel, another $300. Student loan payment, $400. Groceries, $500. Phone, subscriptions, gym, $200. Eating out, small trips, social events, $400. We're already around $4,300. You haven't done anything reckless. You didn't buy a yacht. You didn't gamble your savings away. You just lived a normal, middle-class life. And that's the uncomfortable part. The system is designed to make normal expensive. From the moment you graduate, you're nudged into debt. Student loans feel standard. A car payment feels adult. Financing a phone feels harmless. Credit cards feel convenient. Each decision makes sense in isolation, but here's the hidden flaw. The system separates cost from pain. When you buy a $35,000 car with financing, you don't feel $35,000 leaving your account. You feel $450 a month, and $450 feels manageable. But let's slow that down. A $35,000 car financed over 6 years at 6% interest costs roughly $41,000 by the end. That's $6,000 just for the privilege of paying slowly. Now imagine that $450 invested monthly instead at a modest 7% annual return. Over 10 years, that becomes around $77,000. Over 20 years, it's roughly $235,000. One normal car decision quietly carries a six-figure opportunity cost. And this isn't about cars, it's about structure. The system encourages fixed monthly obligations because fixed payments keep you predictable. A predictable consumer is a profitable one. Mortgage, car loan, subscriptions, buy now, pay later, credit card minimums. Your income rises, but so do your fixed costs. This is lifestyle inflation, and it rarely feels dramatic. It feels deserved. You get a raise from $75,000 to $90,000. Instead of building margin, you upgrade apartments. You switch to a newer car. You travel a bit more. Nothing irresponsible, just incremental upgrades. But here's the psychological piece most people miss. Humans anchor to identity, not numbers. When your income rises, your identity shifts. You don't feel like someone who should drive a 10-year-old car anymore. You don't feel like someone who should have roommates. Your spending adjusts to match who you believe you've become. It's not greed, it's status calibration. And in the US and Europe, status is deeply tied to visible consumption. The problem is that wealth is invisible. Your neighbor leasing a new luxury SUV might have $3,000 in savings. The person driving a used Toyota might have $200,000 invested. But culturally, we reward appearance, not balance sheets. So people optimize for comfort and status while telling themselves they're bad with money when savings don't grow. They're not bad. They're operating inside a structure that rewards spending and penalizes patience. Now let's zoom out. If someone maintains $4,300 in monthly expenses and saves only $200 per month, that's $2,400 per year. Invested at 7% over 20 years, that becomes roughly $105,000. Respectable, but not transformative. But if fixed costs were reduced by just $700 per month, maybe through a cheaper car, slightly smaller apartment, fewer financed purchases, that's $8,400 invested instead. Over 20 years at 7%, that becomes about $368,000. The difference isn't intelligence, it's structural breathing room. Financially intelligent people don't necessarily earn more. They protect flexibility. They treat fixed expenses like long-term commitments, not short-term conveniences. They understand that every recurring obligation reduces future choice. And more importantly, they separate self-worth from visible upgrades. They don't rush to look successful. They build quietly. This doesn't mean extreme frugality, it means awareness. If you feel stuck, it may not be because you lack discipline, it may be because your financial life is fully optimized for consumption, not for optionality. The system is very good at giving you a comfortable present. It's less interested in giving you a flexible future. Once you see that clearly, guilt disappears, and strategy begins. If this perspective helped you think differently about your own financial structure, consider subscribing. We'll keep analyzing money calmly, without hype and without shame.